To our future scientists, I am Tulofelo and welcome to today's lesson on microorganisms. In this part of the lesson, we are going to be working through practice and application questions. So we are first going to start with our practice questions. And the first question that we have here asks us, what are microorganisms? So from the lesson, we should know that microorganisms are small organisms that are found all around us. We know that we have microorganisms that are too small to be seen with the naked eye, therefore have to be viewed under the microscope. We also know that they can live in water, the soil, and in the air, and those are the different habitats. Question 2 asks us to name 4 different groups of microorganisms and give a brief description of each microorganism. So we will start off by naming bacteria. We know that bacteria is unicellular, meaning it consists of one cell. We know that bacteria also feed on dead matter and substances in living organisms. Second, we have viruses, and viruses are acellular. They are without a cell structure. They only reproduce and grow inside the body of a host. That is how they are able to replicate and grow and also reproduce. Third, we have fungi. We know that fungi can either be unicellular or multicellular. We know that fungi also feeds on dead plants and animals, and we know that many fungi are decomposers and they release enzymes to break down dead matter. And then lastly, our 4th group of microorganisms includes protists. These can either be unicellular or multicellular, just like fungi. And they can be found in areas such as ponds, rivers, streams, and oceans. We should also know that by now we have plant-like fungi and animal-like fungi. The plant-like fungi is able to photosynthesize because it contains chlorophyll. And then we have animal-like fungi. Moving on to the next question, which is question 3. This question says we must mention one similarity between bacteria and viruses. So we are looking at characteristics that show that they have or can be the same or are found in bacteria and are also found in viruses. So both bacteria and viruses are microscopic. From the lesson, we should also remember that we learned that protists and fungi can either be microscopic or macroscopic. So here we also see that bacteria and viruses are pathogenic, meaning that they cause diseases. And they also carry genetic material. An example of this would be of a virus. We saw how a virus is dependent on a living host to replicate, and it carries genetic material in the form of DNA, and this is what allows the virus to replicate. Last question, we are looking at question number 4. This question says, name one difference between protists and fungi. Protista just refers to the kingdom of protists. Then protists are mostly unicellular organisms, whereas fungi are mostly multicellular. Protists make their own food, while fungi cannot make their own food. Fungi feeds on dead plants and animals. So an example of protist that makes its own food would be the plant-like protists. And then we know that fungi basically breaks down dead plants and animal matter, and that is what they feed on. So we are done with our practice questions. Let us take a short ad break and I will see you soon.